Okay. So we conserve momentum just like we did in problem 21. We set up the equation, and then we plug the numbers in. Okay, here's the next part. It's not difficult as long as you remember to do it. So you got to remember to do it, but the actual step is not difficult. You need to figure out another relationship between V1 and V2, and that is the shortcut equation. So the shortcut equation, if you look at your equation sheet, the very last page, the shortcut equation is this one. V1 initial plus V1 final equals V2 initial plus V2 final. That's the shortcut equation. Okay? That's what we're going to use here. So all we're going to do is V1 initial plus V1 final equals V2 initial plus V2 final. So V1 initial is before the collision, how fast is it going? 12. After the collision, it's just going V1, whatever that speed is. We don't know what it is. It's something. V2 before the collision is going -10. And after the collision, we don't know. We just call it V2. Solve for either V1 or V2. It doesn't matter. I like to make my numbers positive, so I'm going to go ahead and add 10 to the other side. And this gives me 22 plus V1 equals V2. Okay, now we're ready for the last big step, and then it's just doing the math. That's where I'll leave you guys. So, now we know what V2 equals. V2 equals 22 plus V1. So in other words, whatever V1 is, it's 22 more than that. So if V1 is 0, it's 22. If V1 is 10, it's 32. If V1 is -10, it's 12. It's 22 more than what V1 is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in place of V2. Instead of writing V2, I'm going to write 22 plus V1 because those are the same thing. 22 plus V1 is the same thing as V2, whatever the numbers are. Okay? So that's going to give me this. 36 minus 50 equals 3V1 plus 5 times, and now I'm going to write what V2 is. V2 is 22 plus V1. And now it's all over but the shouting. Okay? So you got to solve it. And the algebra is not super simple, but at this point it's just plugging the numbers in and solving. You're going to solve for V1. Once you have your answer for V1, remember that V1 is 22, or V2 is 22 more than V1. So again, if you find that V1 is -10, then V2 is 22 more than that, which would be 12. Okay? So that's how you're going to solve it out. You should get a negative answer for V1, because if it bounces off, if it was going forward, it would bounce off backwards.